friends, I'm Jody. Welcome back to This Beaded Life. Today we are unboxing the Bohem Style from Craftica for October 2024, and I'm super excited to see what's inside here because I really genuinely love this box. This box is probably one of my most favorites. It's so full of beautiful Czech glass. The Czech glass is top notch. I'm telling you, it's great. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get turned around and let's get started on this. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, I am here and I have the Bohem Style Box in front of me. It always comes tied in this wonderful blue tie. And you can use this to bead on. So it's quite wonderful that you actually get something cute and decorative that ties your box closed, but it's also something that's useful that you can use in a project. And there's been a few times I've actually used it in the project that I did for this box. So there are a few things let me tell you about. So first of all, the Bohem Style Box. It is made by Craftica, put together by Craftica, and it's this one. So let me just say, everything that you get in the box, you should be able to make. You can make 2 unique jewelry pieces. And they have a tutorial that they give you in the notes here. So you can actually go here and follow along to what they have put together for this box, which is really great. Or you can do what I do and I create my own. So I've done earrings, I've done bracelets, I've done a bracelet and earrings, I've done earrings and a necklace, or bracelet and a necklace. There's been a lot of things I've done with this box. Craftica does give you the highest quality Czech Glass beads. They're fantastic. They come from the Czech Republic and they are absolutely worth it. The difference, like with this box, for example, which is very different from their other box, they give you everything that you need. They give you the bead stringing wire. They give you findings like crimp beads and jump rings, so you get everything. But I'm going to go ahead and sort this out here, and well, actually, you know what, because there's no list per se to go off, let's just go through it. I'm going to put this aside. I include this as one of their things that they send. So of course, like I said, we have the crimp beads that they send. We have some jump rings that they sent, some good bead stringing wire, and I have used all their findings, and their findings are good. They have some little clamshell covers here. You get 2 of them in gold. They have one small little eye pin here. Here's some chain that they're giving us to use, some smaller jump rings, a small head pin, a couple clasps, and then the rest, I believe, are all beads. So let's go through these beads. All right. So as I'm doing this, I do want to put them into my tray that I keep everything in, and I take the little product code that you have here and I actually cut that out and put that in with the bead, because I love to be able to go and use this product code on their website and order more if I want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. I'm gonna leave one in the bag so I can do that easily later. So let's take a look at these first, shall we? I'm gonna grab one of my little white trays here. So these are beautiful, like kind of teal, kind of capri blue, Czech glass round, actually rondelle, and they have like a little copper finish on both ends by the hole. Really, really pretty color. Just beautiful, beautiful color. I'll put those there. And then we have some red. Those look to be about a 5 millimeter, I believe, because I think these are roughly around a 4 millimeter. So we have this really pretty red glass bead, Czech glass bead. Just a very, very nice, like true red. Very pretty. I want to take one of those back out. Throw that on there. I'm feeling kind of discombobulated today, guys. I'm like going all over the place. All right, so here's some more red. And these are some 6mm melon beads. Or no, these are 8mm. Yeah, these are 8mm melon beads. So again, in that really beautiful true red. And melons are such a great bead to use. I absolutely love them. They have such that, you know, unique like design on the outside, so it takes your round bead that you would normally have and just kind of dresses it up a little bit. All right, here are some light blue, looks almost like a sky blue, and these are some crackle glass, which are really pretty. I don't think I've seen crackle glass in this box before, so I feel like this is kind of a new one for me. They may have done them before I started getting these boxes, but I feel like it's kind of new for me. So now we're seeing that all these colors look really nice together so far. We have some gold cubes. They do love to send you the Czech Glass cubes, which I can appreciate because who doesn't love a good cube bead? And here's some really pretty ones in gold. Then we have some like little nugget style Czech Glass beads. These are also an 8mm. So you're getting some larger beads in this mix, which is nice. But again, that really nice gold color. Oh, I like these. And then it looks like we have some Czech Glass blue with gold design. I think they don't look table cut, but they might be table cut Czech Glass square beads. And these are really pretty. So they have that design on both sides, of course. So no matter how they are being used, you'll always see that design. And I think these are really cute. I really, really like those. All right, then we have some, now this looks like a deeper red, almost on the verge of being like a wine red. Czech Glass rondelle, and this, just like the blue ones that we first opened, has that little coppery or goldish finish on the ends by the hole, so gives it that little bit of luster that's on there. Really, really pretty. Okay, then we have some more of those really pretty square beads with the pattern, except for these are a beautiful, like almost emerald gold, emerald and gold color. Really, really pretty. So I feel like we have a lot of jewel tones here, and this is fantastic. I love the jewel tones as much as I love, well, anything really. But they are so, so pretty. Okay, next we have some really beautiful satiny looking deep green drops. So these are really pretty. And I feel like these you could probably put on a jump ring if you wanted to. Otherwise you can wire wrap, or you can just string them right along on whatever you're making, and it would look beautiful no matter how you use them. Very beautiful color, very nice satiny finish on those. All right, then we have some red Czech Glass seed beads. So I'm not gonna take out a whole bunch of these. I'm gonna put them right back in the bag when I'm done, because, well, that's what happens whenever I take seed beads out of the bag. So I have like a little seed bead explosion, and they just kind of bounce everywhere. So these look like to be 11-0, and they're really tiny, really, really pretty. From what I can tell, they look very uniform, nice, decent size hole on them. So these are fantastic. And now I'm going to put them in something else so I can pour them back into the bag easily. Let's pour them back in here. All right, I've got quite a few of these. So if you're into doing any kind of bead weaving, those are really, really great. Or if you're like me and you just use them as like spacers, it's really awesome too. All right, then we have some gold Czech Glass spacers. These are really nice. If you love those little round spacer beads that we use in all of our designs, these are awesome too. And only thing is they're a little bit lighter weight than the metal ones you use, so you can use quite a few of them and not worry about the weight of all that metal that's on your piece. So very, very nice. Always like having spacers. All right, so, and then in here, it looks like we have more of like a little bit deeper red again, and we have some fire polished faceted beads in that nice, beautiful, deep wine red. Really, really pretty color. Goes well with all the other colors that we have here, all these other beautiful jewel tones that we have. And then we have some little 4mm, more of that beautiful deep green in the faceted rounds. Really, really pretty. Look at all this. Look at this together. Very, very pretty. All these colors look so good together. Always been such a fan of all these little jewel tones and just how they all look together. Beautiful. All right, getting close to the end here. Now we have a couple table cut, and these are a beautiful rectangle green table cut with a Picasso finish around the edges. Absolutely beautiful. You get 2 of them. I'm just leaving 1 in the bag so it's easier for me to put away. And here's another table cut piece. This one is a larger oval. Very unique like design on the inside part of that bead. Really, really cool. It has like 3 little circles here. But again, another really cool table cut bead. You get 1 of those. And then just like the blue and the green, we have some red ones, which is so super cool that they went across the board with all the colors and gave you those designs in all of those colors. So when you're sitting here looking at this, you can see a lot of really cool pieces of jewelry to come out of this. I typically love to do a necklace from what they send with this box. It's one of my most favorite things to do. And I typically go through the entire box when I do it. And then what I don't have left over, I've been hanging on to and combining with the newer boxes as they come up and as I need more things. So I'll go ahead and clean this up, and then we will design something pretty, and we will use all the products that they gave us, okay? I'll be back. Okay, friends, I am back, and I pulled a bunch of stuff out. There's a few things I have left in there. So I have the red pumpkin cut beads. I have the little red 4mm and the red seed beads and the gold 4mm spacers as well. I'm just leaving them contained in the container, and we may or may not end up using them, but we will see. So we are going to use the wire, the bead string wire, and as you can see, they give you a ton of it, and it is in the gold like we're going to be, like we have with the other finishes. So I'm going to measure on my neck, and then I'll let you know how much I have cut off from this bead stringing wire to use for our necklace. I did pull a chain out, unsure how we're going to use that, if we're going to use it as an extender or something else. I'm not quite sure yet. We will see. But let me just put the rest of this back in here so it doesn't just flop around everywhere. Okay, now my wire, there it is. All right, so let me get my tape measure out and I'll measure that for you. Okay, so we have about 28.5 inches worth of bead stringing wire. There we go, and I'll just set that up here. So you're going to need your basic tools, your round nose pliers, your crimping pliers, your cutters, your bent nose pliers, so all that stuff. You're gonna need your basics. And I'm not using the clamshell connectors in this because I think I'd really like to use more of the, the French wire to close off the end to make it look really, really nice. So I think we're probably going to use that. All right. So let's start with like what we want our center to look like. So I kind of feel like I do want this to be like the top of our focal, and maybe, let's see. Maybe, because I don't think that'll fit. Maybe that would be the bottom of our focal. All right, so if we did that as the bottom of our focal, and then maybe did like the red as the top part, maybe with, or maybe, this little guy is pretty. Yeah, I think I like that. And I wonder if I should just kind of include maybe one of these. And it goes with that. I think that looks nice. All right, so let's make a simple loop here. This little guy will be our focal. So we're gonna just trim a little bit off. Don't need to trim a ton of it off. Up that wire, there we go. And then we're just going to roll this back on top of itself till we have a nice little loop. There it is, real pretty little loop. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. We may not have to trim much off here. I don't think we really need to trim much at all, just a tiny little bit. And then we can roll this one back as well. And there we go. And let's put these two together to make our little focal. Okay, so now we have our focal, and that will be really, really pretty on our necklace. So I think we do want to use some of these little red seed beads. I'm just going to pull some out, make a little pile. Those will be perfect on here to have. I do want to use these as spacers. I just didn't want to make a big old mess. But I think it'd be beautiful to have our focal piece just kind of like floating on top of them. And that way they don't rub on the chain either. The metal doesn't rub on the chain. It'll just kind of sit right next to them like this and just kind of keep it up off of everything. So I'm just putting 3 on each side of our focal. Whoop. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so now we have 3. See how it sits right on top of those? Sit right on top, and it won't, the metal will not rub on the wire, wearing it down over time. So that's gonna work out pretty nice for us. So with that, I would like to go right into, first of all, I do want to save a few of these aside. We do want to make some earrings and a bracelet. So I'm just setting some aside. Probably, yeah, maybe maybe we'll keep the blue out of the earrings and put them in the bracelet. All right, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so, all right, so I have those, and then I do love using these little red seed beads as spacers. So we're gonna go use this little gold cube and just put 1 little red spacer like that. 1 little red seed bead. All right, oops, did that backwards. In my mind, I'm like trying not to make this about Christmas. So we want to have like that blue, if we can, kind of front and center too, because we want this to not look like a Christmas piece, but to look like just a regular piece. You could probably wear it during Christmas and that'd be amazing, but I really don't want it to look like Christmas. So let's go ahead and, since we're right there, let's grab one of these little blue ones and another red. All right, so I want to work that blue in here pretty quickly. Whoop. And the nice thing is we're not using a bunch of bright red or anything right now. We're just using very little. I kind of don't want that many of those seed beads under my pendant, I'm thinking, now that I'm looking at it. Because it looks like an awful lot. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to restring some of this. I'm sorry. We're just going to restring some of this. It's just a quick decision on my part, and we're just doing it. All right, so instead, I'm going to leave one seed bead right there. All right, and then put one seed bead on here. And then, whoop, I keep flicking them off the end. What am I doing, you guys? Why are they like not? Okay, there we go. They're just like wanting to fly off the end. Then our gold and our seed bead. Really? Oh my goodness. You guys, there we go. Then our blue. All right. Okay, I like that better. That's much better. It was looking a little off to me when I had so much red right here. It was like you didn't have anything to focus on but that red, and it was kind of driving me. So I did not want to use that as our focus. The seed beads were not our focus, and that's kind of what my eyes were being drawn to. So I wanted to get rid of that. So let's go ahead and put this one on. And then I think we do need to use some more gold. So I am going to pull out some of the little round gold spacers. Here we go. And let's do like one of these little round gold ones. One of these really pretty faceted green ones. And then another gold. And let's do a little red bead. Okay. All right. So I'm using a lot of smaller beads right here on the bottom. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to bring the eye up closer to the side of the necklace. So we have our focal, but then I want the eye to kind of travel up the rest of the way. So we're starting with some smaller beads down here, and then we'll work our way up into some larger ones. So let's go ahead and do that pattern on the other side of the necklace too. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and it looks pretty. Very, very, very pretty. It looks very jewel tonish. All right, so then now that we have that, I would like to use maybe another larger blue bead. So let's do a couple of those crackle ones. So I think let's do the gold square spacer, one of these beautiful crackle beads. And then another square spacer. And let's do a red seed bead. Okay, same thing on the other side. We're just going to keep doing this pattern as we go, just trying to figure out what we want to, how we want to showcase everything. All right. And then I think let's do a little bit of gold by itself here. So we do have those really pretty twisty nugget, gold nuggets. So let's do one of these with a little red seed bead after it. All right. Okay, that's looking really lovely. All right, so next I want to, let's maybe do a little bit of this red. So we do have these really pretty red beads that I would like to use. I love these. These are so pretty. So I think we want to do those next, but we don't really want them sitting right up next to that red. So let's do our little gold spacer, our beautiful red square bead, and our gold spacer. Need a few more of those gold spacers. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And follow that up with a seed bead. There we go. Wonderful, that looks good. And then I think these cute little table cut rectangles would look good in here at some point too. Not sure if that's where I want to put them yet. I think I still want to continue on with these beautiful little beads. So, and I'm trying to find like something to accent it. So like for example, the blue, if I did this really pretty deep red with this blue one, that looks really nice. And do our little red seed bead. And then we could follow up with our, let's do our gold cubes with our green. Just like that. Oh, that looks cute. I really like the way that looks. All right, so let's do the same thing over here. So we have our little deep red rondelles, our blue, another rondelle, and our little seed bead. And then we have our gold cube, our green, and our gold cube. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, so do you see what I mean about how this is our focal and then we want some attention here too? Like we really want you to come up and look at this as well. So that's what I mean by like kind of putting some smaller ones down here and then moving into some of the larger beads up closer to the where it's going to be sitting like on your chest. All right, so we have that. And let's see, where do I want to go from here? I think maybe I would like to do, like kind of go back and do the gold and then the blue here at this point. So let's do that. So we need a little red seed bead, this gold one, and a seed bead. And then we did a gold cube with our pretty little crackle bead and another gold cube. And let's do our little red seed bead. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. All right, so next we need our little red seed bead, our gold, and then our little red seed bead, our gold cube, our lovely blue crackle bead, gold cube again, and our seed bead. All right, hold on one second, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I've decided that I would like to use some of this blue stringing material that came on our package. So we're going to do that, but I still want to do just a little bit more on here. So we still have these beautiful little rectangles, and I would like those to be at the end here. One thing we didn't use really a lot are these really pretty blue rondelles, so I want to put those on. Then these beautiful green ones, and then a blue again. And do the same thing on this side. Get in there. There it goes. All right. And then let's go ahead and end this with let's do a round gold and a seed bead. And a round gold and a seed bead. All right, so we have this, and now, like I said, I would like to use some of that cord that came on our box to finish it off, just to give a little more blue in it, and I think that would be really, really pretty. And we're going to use some of this beautiful Bead-A-Lawn French wire to make our wire guardians. So you only need about a 1/2 inch to make like a wire guardian. So it's going to be about this much here, and we're going to cut 2 pieces. 1, and just so I make sure I get them the same size, I'm going to put the other one right up next to it. Okay, and I'm going to cut. There we go. So now we have 2 pieces of our French wire to do our ends. So what we're going to do is we are going to string on one of our crimps. A little crimp bead. One of these little tiny coils of French wire. Come on. All right, and we're going to bend it like this, just like we would if we were, you want to make it into like your wire guardian. So you're going to bend it like that, okay? And while you're doing that, just kind of hold it there, bring your crimp bead up, and over top of that tail. Meanwhile, you're still holding that French wire. When you get it where it's over top of both pieces of string, just pull that crimp up, straighten out your little, straighten out your little Bead-A-Lawn French wire. Gosh, you guys, I can't even think. I can't talk, I can't think. And then come in here carefully and crimp that crimp bead down. But that is a teeny tiny crimp bead. Give it a tug test, make sure it's not going anywhere. We can go ahead and trim this off because I doubt if both strands will fit through one of those seed beads. So I'm just going to trim that off. And then let's have gravity do what it's supposed to do and just pull on it, pull the one side up that's not finished, and have it meet you right up at the top there, okay? I feel like my crimp didn't turn out super lovely, so I'm going to actually grab a crimp cover and we're going to cover that up, and we'll do them on both sides. Just because I don't like the way my crimp turned out. So I'm just going to get a couple little crimp covers. Like 2 different shades of gold in there. I just want to make sure I have the same shades of gold. There's one. Again, this was before I started organizing things, guys. I got kind of just dump happy, and I was just dumping stuff. So, all right. And we're going to put one of those crimp covers over top of our crimp just to make it look nice and clean and neat. If your crimps stay, but they're not looking lovely, you can always use a crimp cover to cover it up. It hides a lot of mistakes. So just gently close that crimp cover, just like that. And it makes a nice little round ball. You just gotta kinda, you don't want to squeeze too hard because you don't want to flatten it. You want it to look like a little bead. And there we go. Now it looks like a little bead. Okay. So we'll do the same thing on this side. Let's put our crimp bead on. I'm actually gonna have a lot of this wire left over now that I decided to do that, which is great because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a bracelet from the leftover. Oops, where'd I throw it? There it is. I feel like everything bounces when you're making jewelry. Like beads bounce, everything bounces like off the mat onto something else. All right, so now that we have that on, let's go ahead and just put our tail through that crimp bead right there. There it goes. Just gently pull that down. Sometimes you gotta just kind of play with it and make it work. Okay, so we're like that, but we want to get it down there all the way. So let's pull on that cord just a little bit more. All right. So now, because I want to make sure that I put my crimp cover on this one too, so they look the same, I'm going to make sure that I have enough space for that on my wire. All right. Trying really hard not to get anything else caught in that. I don't want my seed bead stuck in there or crack my seed bead with my pliers. So just trying to be really careful and make sure I'm only crimping what I'm supposed to be crimping. And then we can put our crimp bead cover over top of our crimp. And just hold it there. And just gently squeezing that, just kind of guiding it, because I don't want to do it too fast where I'm gonna have it all crooked and weird, because it takes a lot to try to pull one of these off or cut one off once you have them on. So I'm just trying to be really neat about it and make sure it's not all like funky looking. There we go. All right, so there's our 2 finished ends, and they look really, really nice. So that's perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our cord that came on our box, and we are going to just feed this through here. Okay, just like so. And we're going to just do like a double overhand knot. So I have both strands, and we're going to put both of them through like so, and then again. And let's see if this little knot works out for us. Sometimes I get the knots perfectly the first try. Sometimes it takes me 2, 3, 4, 5 tries. So I'm just slowly bringing those pieces together to make my knot, just manipulating it with my fingers and pulling one strand at a time. And we're just gonna make a knot, okay? So it's kind of a bigger knot, but I think it kind of blends, like goes with what we have going on here, all right? And then you can cut that tail off. You don't need to keep that on there. Save these long pieces of tail because you can put all these together and make like a really cool tassel. So I like to save that kind of stuff. And then we will do the same thing on the other end, but I want to see how long I want this to be. All right, so I think I want to go right about here, and I'm leaving myself space to create a knot too. I don't want this to be super duper long, but I don't want it to be a really short little necklace either. All right, so let's do the same thing on this side. All right, it's just gonna do a couple overhand knots. Hold on one second, you guys. Something seems weird. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I am back, and we're just going to fix that knot just like so. And now we have both sides with our little knot. There we go. All right. And then we can clip off our tail because we don't need that. Just like so, saving it. It's one thing that's so great when you make jewelry. You can do so much with little scraps and everything. It's so wonderful. All right, so now we're gonna put on our clasp, and we're just going to put our little bead thread here through our opening of our lobster clasp. Sorry, you guys. I think that you heard like a loud noise on camera. So I was sitting here and I kept thinking about it. I'm like, what in the world could that be? So I went out in the living room, and my stepson had come out of his bedroom at the same time, and he heard it too, and it sounded like gunshots. So there's a park by us, and it's at the end of the road, and there had been homeless encampments back there at some point, and they got moved out, of course, because it's a public park and everything. And went out in the living room and told Shane, hey, I heard that sound like gunshots, and Xander said, yeah, me too. So looked out the window, and all of our neighbors were out there, and they had called 911, and the cops were already on the way. So basically there was like a burgundy or red Prius that went into the park and shot towards the woods like several rounds, and then took off down one of the streets. So they're out there getting a description of the vehicle now, which, I mean, you guys, that's terrifying. Like, I don't understand, like, what is wrong with people? It's like, there's no need for violence like that. I mean, what, or even just playing around, like, don't do that, that's not cool. All right, so got that side on there. And now we're going to just put on one of our larger jump rings. And the only thing I did at the end here is I just did like an overhand knot, okay? Just an overhand knot. Simple. So it wasn't so bad. There, now I got that off my chest. I feel like I can concentrate on what I'm doing, because I was sitting here thinking, I was like, that's not a normal sound that you just hear coming from outside. So it's a little unnerving, to say the least. And we live in a nice neighborhood. I mean, our neighborhood's really good. It's not like, you know, but those things happen everywhere. They happen in good neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods, medium neighborhoods. I mean, you name it. They happen everywhere. They're just everywhere. All right. So now we have this side done. And we can go ahead. I like to just leave like a little bit here at the end. Not for any reason at all, but just because. And now we have our cute little gem jewel tone necklace. Really pretty little necklace. And now I'm going to clean up a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and make a bracelet. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use some more of this French wire, just cutting off about 1/2 inch. Oops, I messed that one up. If you mess it up, you got to cut that little end off because you can't use it. And then just another 1/2 inch. There we go. Oh, that's a little bit too big. Trim just a little bit of that off. There we go. All right. Oh, and I did mess up that little piece. Just trim that off. Okay, so we got that. And let's go ahead and string on our crimp first. And then one of our pieces of our French wire. And we're going to make this one kind of asymmetrical, so we are just going to put that on. We're going to put our clasp on right over top of our French wire. Bring this down. You do, and when you're using French wire, you do end up using just a little bit more of your regular bead wire, but it makes the finished product looks so nice. It makes the end of your jewelry look like it's very professional. Looks really, really nice. So I've just recently started using it, and I'm absolutely smitten with it. It's amazing to use. And it's super easy to use too. It is a little on the pricier side. I ordered the Bead brand to try it out because I know Bead brand products and I love Bead brand products. So I did order it from there. But yeah, I will actually I ordered it on Amazon because Bead sells products on Amazon. So I ordered it from there, and I will put the links to the gold and to the silver that I ordered in the show notes, along with the links for the Bohem box, which when you order your very first Bohem box, you get it for $24.99, which is $5 off of its regular price. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Look what I got. And then when you get your second one, they charge you $29.99. So you get like an introductory rate, so you can try it for $5 less. And then, like I said, they're like $29.99 after that. So really good deal on beautiful Czech glass. And I think it's something that you would definitely love, whether you want to do a project with it or if you just want to include it in your stash to go with your other products that you use. Either way, it's fantastic beads, beautiful shapes, beautiful colors, and it's usually very well curated together. All right, so we have our crimp and our crimp cover on, and let's go ahead and start stringing on our beads, how we want to have them. So I really want to use these green drops. I think these green drops are just absolutely lovely, and I always love the way they look on a bracelet, especially when you're doing like an asymmetrical bracelet. Just to string them on, it looks really, really cute. So we're going to use those. We're going to use some of these round gold spacers, and I'm going to put the gold spacer on first. All right. Just like that. Kind of scoot everything else off to the side. I've got like, I have this whole work mat, but I tend to use like 2 square inches of it. I don't understand that. Am I the only one that does that? All right, so let's put this one on. And now the debate. So do we put like a gold spacer between each one, or do we just string them on to let them kind of flip-flop together? I think we just string them on to let them kind of flip-flop together. So we're just gonna do that. Get them all on there. We use it every single one. You guys, I seriously have the sweetest husband. He just brought me an icy. My comfort icy. Oh, and they helped me get the house cleaned up this morning, so that was so nice. And I wanted to be able to do this project today and then just enjoy the rest of my Sunday. So it looks like we're going to be able to do that. I'm sorry, I just knocked my head on my camera. Sorry about that, you guys. And so tonight is going to be like an easy dinner night. We're doing chili cheese dogs, and we are doing fries and a vegetable. So super easy dinner, very delicious dinner. It's probably one of my favorite things to make. We don't make them very often just because they're not the greatest thing for you, of course, but they are delicious and not nutritious, but that's okay. Not everything in life is going to be nutritious. All right, so I have one of these little crackle beads left, so we're going to just use it right here. Just kind of throwing it in there. Little splash of blue, right? Keep these laying right. There we go. All right, so we got our little splash of blue right there. And then I think what I would like to do is probably, see, I've got two of these little blue beads left. I think let's do one of these blue beads. Let's do this gold with a little red seed bead. This gold with a little red seed bead. And this gold. Well, hello, Cheeto. And then we can do our blue and our gold spacer. All right. And hello, Marbs. My door didn't close all the way, so here they all come. They're like, I'm coming in, I'm coming in. All right, and then now that we have that, I think what I'd like to do is, I think I want to use these really pretty green ones here. So let's maybe, let's do this green. Let's do this gold, this red, this gold, and another green one. Gold, red, gold, and this green. And then let's check out the length for our bracelet, because we must be getting pretty close, and we are. So then we can do our gold, this little red, and our gold. Okay, and let's check one more time, see where we're at. We have just a little bit of room left. So I think at the end, I would like to maybe just do a little bit of this, the more green at the end. So we're gonna do a few of these and some of the square, we'll do a square gold. Let's do like 3 of these. And then another square gold. And let's see where we're at now. Okay, we are good. We are really, really good. All right, so we are good with our bracelet. Let's put our crimp on. And let's put our, oh my goodness gracious, you guys. Let's put this on. And then let's take our bead stringing wire and go through that crimp bead. Trying to keep my French wire and my crimp bead separate because they like to like get sucked in there. What are you doing, sir? He's like clawing on my canvas bin, trying to like pull it out of the cube. You don't need to go in there. All right, so now we have our crimp on and we have our French wire pulled down just a little bit. I'm going to kind of scoot that up a little and crimp this crimp bead. And trim, oh, let's test it first. I always like to test it first just to make sure I didn't like, make sure it's working. Let's put our crimp cover on real quick here. Sometimes these little things are just so hard to do with your fingers, and some days you have no problem, some days it's like, no, this is impossible. All right, now we can trim that one off. Very nice. Still have a long enough piece to do something with. All right, and then we can put our, I think this needs a dangle though. I feel like this really needs a dangle. So I think I'm gonna get a head pin, and I think I have my gold head pins out. So let me see. Throw this on here. Well, regardless of what was happening with that gunshot, which we all know it was a gunshot, I hope they find the person and they get in trouble regardless of whether someone got hurt or not, because that's kind of unreal. Just firing a gun in a neighborhood. I mean, there's kids all over this neighborhood too, you guys. I mean, it's insane. I don't know what's wrong with people. All right, and I do have my gold head pins right here, so let's grab this one. And I think I would like to do this little gold. Let's do this red one. It's really, really pretty. Actually, you know what? I have an odd number of red, so let's do this. Okay, just like that. Are you using the automatic litter box? Good boy. Good boy. Sorry guys, I know that was probably TMI for you, but we have one of those automatic litter boxes and it's a challenge. It's an absolute challenge trying to get them to use that one over the other one, because the other one I have to leave for now for Marmalade because he really does not like the other one. He's terrified of it. I tried to put him in it and he like spread his paws and like his front legs and back legs out, like straight out, to like prevent me from putting him in there, and he was so upset, so I couldn't like make him do it. But Cheetah will use it, and he's a really good boy. He will use it. He likes to go in there, but he likes enclosed spaces. He really enjoys enclosed spaces. So I would love to get rid of the regular litter box because it's a pain. Didn't get close enough to that to trim all that off. There we go, that's better. I can squish that down easier. All right, so now we have our cute little bracelet with our little dangle. I like that. That turned out really cute. All right, guys, we're gonna make a pair of earrings and then we are all set. Okay, grabbed a couple ear wires and let's go ahead and make our pretty little earrings. I'm gonna make some simple earrings to wear with our necklace and our bracelet. So first I'm going to do the red and the gold together on an eye pin, and we're just going to make a nice simple loop. And just roll that back. Make sure you get it closed all the way. All right, and then on the bottom, I think we will do this green with the blue. So that we have all the colors represented in both the necklace, bracelet, and earrings. And we're just going to do a wire wrap on this one. All right, straighten out our loop a little bit. Let's put this together. So we have like this, and then our ear wire can go right on top. Like so. Cute. That's a pretty earring. Get rid of those seed beads before I end up. You guys, I just about used this entire box. All right, so same thing over here. We have our gold. And then our red. And our gold. There we go. Then we need our greens with our blue. And we have some lovely jewel tone jewelry. There we are. And then we can connect everything together. And put our ear wire on. All right, and now we have our complete set. You guys, I will clean this up and I'll be right back and I'll try everything on for you. Okay guys, here it is. Look at all those beautiful jewel tones. Don't mind my other necklace, I didn't take that one off. But everything looks so pretty together. And look, here are the earrings. And here's our bracelet. Just a really cool looking bracelet. It's almost like 3 bracelets in one because there's like different segments and it's just really fun to look at. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the box. Remember, I do have the link for the box in the description. I'm also putting the link for excuse me, the French wire that I got on Amazon in the description as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Happy Sunday to you all. I will keep you informed on what was going on. The cops are down there putting those little yellow things over bullet casings. So that's exactly what it was. Anyway, I'll keep you informed. And yeah, that's it. Have a wonderful day. Love you all so much. Bye.